Alright everyone, welcome to finals week 2 in the AFL with 2 games this weekend. First game tomorrow, Friday the 13th of September, so that's unlucky for some. It's Geelong versus the West Coast Eagles at the MCG. It should be, it's an evening kick-off in Australia. Here in the UK, usually it's around about an 11 a.m. As I keep saying, kick-off. It's not a kick-off, right? Okay, apologies for that. Starts at 11 a.m. UK time. So it's Geelong anyway, Geelong Football Club versus the West Coast Eagles at the MCG, as I've said. And this is my predictions, of course. So I have to pick a winner here. Obviously, the bad news coming out of West Coast Eagles right now is Willie Rioli has been banned due to faking urine samples. I don't know what he's done to do this, but he's been caught red-handed. Whether or not he's had a sample of somebody else's urine, I'm not too sure. But it's been enough to get him banned and found guilty of the crime. Obviously, the more details they come across, he could face up to a 4-year ban from the sport, which, to be fair, right, is fine. Mate, it's 12:43 a.m. in Australia. I appreciate this is a live thing, but I never got my predictions done. So, hi anyway, Pete, mate. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed my predictions. So, I'm just saying a little bit about the West Coast Eagles situation. What they found wasn't even urine. Mate, I don't even know what the hell this guy's up to. He's clearly cheating. They need to throw the book at him, suspended temporarily, and then when they get the details, they can make their decision from there. I'm not too sure. But for the sake of what I'm saying here, if he is found guilty, they throw the book at the guy and do away with him completely. You can't have cheats. At the end of the day, right, I don't know what he's taken, performance-enhancing drugs or whatever he's been possibly taking, which is leading to him possibly doing this and getting caught up in this scandal. It's all alleged at this stage. But as I'm saying, if it does all turn out to be true and he's doing that, I always thought to myself, in sport, why the hell isn't everybody allowed to take them? Just everyone take performance enhancing drugs, and there's nobody getting got the advantage over anybody else because everybody's on them. At the end of the day, it cuts out all this pish for testing, all of this waste of time. Just everybody takes what the hell they like. If you don't take the best steroids, then that's your own fault. Do you know what I mean? So it's everybody on steroids. Get the best steroids into your body to help you perform on a Saturday. That's the way around it. Clearly, that's not going to happen. That is just a joke. He shouldn't be doing it. The rules are there, and if he is caught and found guilty of this, throw the book at him. He no longer deserves to play the sport because it is blatant cheating. Just everybody take them, mate. You know yourself, like, nobody's got an advantage. If you're taking ones that aren't as good as others, then more fool you. You should have got the best gear you can possibly get. Get those anabolics into your body. Get yourself buzzing, ready to go, fired up, looking good in the Guernsey, muscles bulging, just fired up. You've got the good performance enhancing stuff in your body. You're raring to go, and you feel like $1 million. Absolutely sensational idea. I'm going to put it to the AFL tomorrow in writing and see what they say. It could possibly away with Willie Rioli being tested for urine and then him giving a sample of horse semen to them. I'm not too sure. But all jokes aside, as I said, if he's found to be guilty of this, throw the book at him. This is a sport that has got a very harsh view on this sort of thing. And indeed, every sport has usually. Unless you're in the WWE, then it's greatly encouraged. Oh, mate, Dave, as I say, at this stage, nobody really knows the exact went on. There's definitely foul play went on somewhere. Either somebody's fucked up or there's some serious foul play. I can't imagine the testing team's got anything wrong. These are professionals brought in from outside of the club. And if he's been found to have done something, I always say this is true, this story. I can't imagine this going global, being on every media outlet. Everybody, even the club spoke about it. I believe it's going to be true. He's going to be found guilty. I don't know what his punishment would be, and if it's 4 years, that's probably the end of his playing career. Certainly at the West Coast Eagles, he's let that team down. He's let the club down. He's been playing quite well as well. It's just a bad light you don't want to see on the. It's the club that suffers. Willie Rioli, if he's found guilty of this, get the fuck, mate. I have no sympathy for him. At the end of the day, it's poor timing. Exactly, it's poor timing. This is a huge game. The club's going for back-to-back premiers here. Last week they were absolutely outstanding. All right, Ewan, mate. I'm pretty good, pal. They do. When I was in the military, they stand behind you. They come in from outside, so it's not an internal thing done. An outside organisation comes in. I forget the name. Is it FADSA or something they're called in Australia? They've came in, FADSA or something it's called. This is a game. Geelong, I actually fancy them. As I say, this is predictions. I predict a West Coast Eagles win with or Asada. I knew it was something like that. Cheers, Dylan, mate. The sample was from 3 weeks ago. Maybe it's been a case of he's tried to contest it, and now it's just been a case that there's no contesting this, mate. This isn't even fucking pee. This is some sort of fucking bull piss. I don't know what the hell he's got his hands on, but it ain't urine, mate. You've clearly fucking done something dodgy. Maybe, I know that if you were to get caught, say, with cocaine in your system, you can say that I don't know how this came about, and you could say I want to take a hair sample, which will delay any proceedings further. When I was in the military, if somebody got caught doing something they shouldn't have been doing in terms of drug abuse, they can say no, I want a hair sample, and it can delay it up to 6 months. But ultimately, that hair sample will be able to be traced back for a couple of years about drugs that you've took in your body, and there's no getting away from it. So all he might be doing here is delaying the inevitable, delaying the ban to try and get his finals footage play. But it's not paid off. He's missing the game, which is fair enough. I believe he's a cheat. I don't see it going any other way. So West Coast Eagles are good enough without him anyway to win this game. They've got the quality, as I say, throughout the team. Nick Nat being back is a huge lift. He was sensational last week. That choke slam was like something out of the WWE. Maybe he was on steroids too. I'm only joking. But he's picked the guy up and slammed him into the fence. Don't pull my fucking dreadies, mate. You'll get elbowed right to the fucking throat, and that'll be the end of it. But good job anyway. Great game. West Coast Eagles were good. Geelong were. Do you know what? They were unfortunate against Collingwood. It was 61, I think 51. They had a little bit of a comeback. They possibly could have won that game. I'm not too sure. However, West Coast Eagles victory on Friday, and they will be in the preliminary final. That is what I'm predicting. So we're on to Saturday the 14th. Big one, really. Lions will be licking their wounds after that absolute going over from Richmond, and the Giants they smashed the Bulldogs, didn't they? They smashed the Bulldogs. Let's make no mistake about this. The Lions, that's 2 losses in a row now if you include the last game against Richmond. 2 defeats from Richmond, once at the MCG, once at the Gabba. They're back home again at the Gabba against the Giants. The Giants were really, really good. They're going to be without Mitch Robinson, I think, the Lions as well, to my knowledge. A scoreline possibly was flattering Dylan, mate. I'm not too sure, but I think here, Lions, the Giants, Lions victory. I think they're going to be strong at home. The Gabba, if they weren't behind them against Richmond, they sure as hell are going to be behind them now. This is the Dogs' chance now. Last chance saloon. Do it. You're through at the preliminary final. You know what it means. You're one game away from that ultimate prize of getting into that grand final and one hand on the trophy. So give it your all. I feel the Lions are a strong side. I think the Giants are a strong side, but they're very, very inconsistent as well. Kind of like Geelong a little bit with the way they've played over the last month and a half or so. Given that these two teams at one point were 1 and 2 respectively, they went so bad in the last week or two, the last month or two. I think the Lions' consistency before the 2 meetings with Richmond was phenomenal. the Gabba it's going to be a cauldron of noise. They're going to be outstanding. Mitch Robinson not playing, possibly a huge blow though. Lions victory. So there you go. My predictions: West Coast Eagles and the Lions. More news today. I think Pike has quit, stepped down as the Adelaide Crows head coach. Is this good news? I believe so. Two Adelaide clubs not getting into the top 8, and at one point both looked like they were a shoo-in to get top 8. Showed you how poor both coaches were at Port and the Crows. Hinkley hasn't done the respectable thing and stepped down yet, so I think all Port fans will be looking like, fucking hell, mate, hurry up the fuck, get you out of there. You're not doing the job either. Hinkley needs to move. Pike's done the right thing. He's realised, I'm not that good. Do you know what I mean? See you later. His time's up. Bit of a dinosaur. I think people get comfortable in jobs. Maybe players aren't responding to the same sorts of things they used to. Sort of keywords and ways you could fire certain players up before a game. Maybe that's not having an effect anymore. And Pike's done the right thing. He's stepped down and he's got the hell out of it. Dave, I'd love to see Mick Malthouse back in 2020. Well, your rival club in the West Coast there in Perth is, of course, the Fremantle Dockers. I'm not too sure about what's going to happen there. He was a club heavily linked with the Dockers. I feel that he is possibly a dinosaur in the sport, but I'd be totally okay if he coached Freo. So I take your opinion from that statement. That means you think he's a dinosaur and he's done. But there is serious rumours about him coming back in 2020. I'd like to see it anyway, no matter who he goes to. He's going to be coming up against Nathan Buckley. He should be at Collingwood next year. I can't see why he wouldn't be. They're possibly going to be in the grand final this year. They've got a preliminary here now, so they've only got one game to get to the grand final. Back-to-back years. Who could be their challenger? We'll have to wait and see. But one could argue, I'm going to be slightly posh here for a second, that Nathan Buckley has technically failed as the Collingwood manager, given the size of the footy club, the fan base, the members, the players at their disposal, the finances at the club. He's never won a premiership. The last person to actually win it was Mick Malthouse at the club. So, in my opinion, that could be a pretty... They don't like each other. They've clearly spoke out about each other a lot in the press and the media. They're not a bit behind the door about their opinions of one another. So to see them rutting like two stags will be fantastic next year, whether it's at the Dockers or wherever else. There's a lot of clubs replacing coaches towards the end of the ladder there, and now on in. Possibly over the close season as well. We might see some changes as well. But as I say, few stories coming out. Obviously, Spud passed away. Unfortunately, that's very, very sad news. He's not somebody who I'm not long watching the sport, so it's not somebody I ever seen play. I don't know much about him as a player. He's heavily respected within the footy community. He was liked by footy fans across the board as well, which makes it even more sad, really, when you get somebody that's so likeable. I'm not too sure. I've read stories about possible suicide, etc. It's a very common thing with men these days. And do you know what? It's brutal either way.
I'm so scared.
You're all right. It's brutal either way, whether or not it was an accident or suicide. It's really devastating news. So thoughts go out to his family and indeed anybody else connected with him. Really sad news. He's somebody I'm going to check out now because, as I said, I didn't really know too much about him as a footy player. I know he's had spells as coach as well, and then he's went on and done some media work as well. But yes, certainly a heavily respected individual within the AFL community as a whole. So I had to put that in there as well. Yeah, you and me. I mean, and I think the thing with men as well, it's the old scenario. Men don't talk out. They just, if they're struggling with stuff in their head, it's seen as a sign of weakness to go out and want to speak about it. What are you going on about, mate? That's what they think people are going to say. But people wouldn't do that. It's a common thing. I've experienced certain things myself. I've never been as low as that, but it's certainly something men struggle with, and it's a lot more common than I think people realise. They're starting to realise now just how serious this could be. I'm not saying that's what happened because we're not sure. It was just it was just something that had been said. It could have been possible suicide, so I really hope it wasn't. Either way, it doesn't matter. A man's lost his life, and thoughts go out to him and his family and close friends, and be affected by that. So that's a bit of a somber thing there. But any more footy news anybody's got to talk about? Big week of footy news here. Yeah, it has been. There's been loads of stuff. Millions, absolutely sensational stuff. Apple flavour. Who knew how good they were? There's something I was going to say. I was going to do. Of course, I'm doing my reactions to grand finals. There's a couple coming up. I've still to do my footy thing. It's quite dry this evening. Don't know if I'll get down, but we'll try and get down if I can. And also, excuse me, just try to chew that. Sticking to my teeth. I hate that when you chew something stuck in your teeth. You know what Ryan Kent is about to do to the SPFL. He's going to tear it apart, mate. Absolutely outstanding. That's it. Boss Baby's getting stuck in. On you go and see your sister then.
No.
No, sit there then. So big news as it is now that clubs are finished for the footy season, as it were, like the playing side of the game, you're going to get a lot more rumours of players going to certain clubs. Who was it I was speaking about yesterday? Possibly going to Carlton. There's a couple of players. My head's went blank because I'm on the spot. Should have wrote it down before I did this. I was only going to do predictions and then go, you see. But I thought about a couple of stories. Eddie Betts back to Carlton. Jasmine says, didn't know that. They're linked with 6 players. There's one from the Giants, I think. No, it's Gold Coast Suns. Who else did I see? Wait there, you. You and mate, I'm not going to any this season, mate, but I would love to. I'm going over in December for a game on the 7th, just Ross County at home. So I'm going to that there. And what was I going to say? No European games, but I saw you were going to Feyenoord in Holland, mate. Good stuff. Absolutely buzzing about that. That'll be top drawer. Couple of players. I just can't remember. Apologies for that. I did think about who it was that was linked with Carlton, but there I've got hopes for signing 6 players at Carlton. Carlton are heavily linked with a lot of players right now. Brad House is still to make his mind up on where he's going. It looks like, was it St Kilda I read? St Kilda he's possibly going to, so that should be a great signing for them. He wanted to go back. He was playing, obviously, in Victoria. He's wanted to go back to Perth to be near family. So he's went to the Dockers. Now he's unsettled and homesick or something, and he's want to go back to Victoria. I don't get the guy. He's clearly money orientated, the move. But on a playing side of things, he is a sensational player, and he could offer St Kilda a lot. He's still got a lot to offer any team he goes to. Really good player, really enjoy him. There's a couple of youngsters coming through. Of course, I'm going to be looking forward to the draft thing. It's something that I've not really seen an awful lot of. I like it. There's certain aspects to it in which I really, really like. And then there's other parts of it I don't. Certain things that I have spoke to Dylan. You've told me quite a lot about how the draft system works. It is a thing I do enjoy in terms of trying to spread out the quality throughout the whole competition and make it a more of a level playing field and get the best up and coming players going to as many teams as possible to try and get the playing side of each team on a level playing field, basically. But with the father and son rule, is drafting like transfer. It's basically it's quite strange on how it works. I'm still not familiar with how you get first pick, second pick, third pick. But whatever way it works out, each club gets a list of where they end up, what draft pick they get. So number 1 being the first draft pick, you get to choose the best player, basically, coming through as a youngster. Whereas I'm used to watching sport where you have an academy. So say Your Geelong's got a youth team. You play for this is the way I would have thought. I would have liked to have seen it. Obviously, you could have a good crop of youngsters coming through at once at one club. They've trained them from no age, knee height to a grasshopper, all the way up, and then suddenly they've been picked first draft pick to the West Coast Eagles or something. It's something I like in terms of spreading the quality about, but it's also something that I don't like as well. But it's not something that I've experienced before, so that's what I'm looking forward to seeing as well. Seeing how that works, who gets to pick who, and then these are players that I'll be putting down and certainly watching in the up and coming year to see does any of them thrive on the big stage or flop. Let's face it, some youngsters are great when it comes to playing kids their own age, but when they're playing against men, big fuck off men like Mumford, boom, of the Giants, I mean, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit hard. You're no used to playing at that in the 18s, 17s, 18s. These guys haven't filled out yet. They're still kids, man. They're not used to these big, fucking massive hits that you're going to be experienced in the top flight AFL. And some players will flop, but then again, some others might thrive. When Dusty Martin came on the scene, he just fucked out don't argues like they were going out of fashion. He was smashing men into oblivion. People were bouncing off Dusty's outstretched arm and falling back, and these were men, and he was like 18 or something at the time. The guy's an absolute machine. He's an athletic machine. There's not a pick of fat on the man. He's just a finely tuned, well-oiled human battering ram. Absolutely fantastic to watch. What a player. But he burst on that scene as a youngster, and he wasn't afraid at that age of the big guys. And some guys, they will be. And like I could only imagine if I was 17, quite a slight little guy, coming into the big stage, and you've got 6'5", 6'7" guys, 18 stone. And let's face it, they can get some speed up, and they're going to hit you. They're not pulling out. They want you to know you're in the big time now, son, and you're going to leave a mark on them. And that's what you've got to do. Fuck them. If they're fucking 17 or 18, you're not going to want to get made a fool out of a 17-year-old, so you fucking hit them as hard as you hit the next man. And as I say, Dusty thrived in that, whereas some will crumble. So, getting back to my actual point of why I went into this, this will be the thing that I'll be looking out for, the draft picks. Obviously, number one draft pick doesn't always end up being the best player in the competition. They don't develop the way they were seen at like kind of academy, youth level, NAB Rising Stars, NAB Rising Stars. They don't, but some do. Some are first draft pick and go on to be Brownlow medalists. They just keep getting better with age, more experience they get, learning the tricks on the field, learning all the little things to do that they can improve their game. You learn a lot more by playing a sport rather than watching a sport, and that's what's happening, and they get better. But it's taking that skill and ability from that youth level, and it's stepping it up and constantly improving. And obviously some players have managed to do it and some haven't, so there'll be players that I will be looking out for coming into next year when I start from week 1. Of course, I never did that this year, so it was quite hard for me to go, who's a first yearer? I didn't know. I just see young guys. There's quite a lot of port. There's young players across the board that are really doing well right now, but I could tell you, are they first years, are they second years? Haven't got a notion, haven't got a clue. But next year is very much so the beginning of my AFL, I would say, semi-professional YouTuber when it comes to AFL starting from next year, because I've learned quite a bit on the sport in such a short space of time. But next year will be great to start from scratch, not start from scratch, go in, with experience from day one. Just trying to get to some comments there because, as I say, 60,000 subs now. I mean, mate, that is mind blowing. I remember getting to 1,000 was like, was it ever going to happen? And then once 61,000 subs, Dave, I didn't even know, mate. I used to look at it all the time because you can kind of get drawn to the numbers all the time. I try to just enjoy it now and not worry about the numbers. I'm sure the numbers will take care of themselves. But 61,000, sometimes you have to think, wow. Well, people are enjoying it enough to keep coming back and watching it. 61,000. It's a big number. It's a relatively decent sized channel, but it's not massive in the grand scheme of things. It's just a good number. And I'm enjoying the community of people that I'm getting on the channel. I know, mate, you from day one. I mean, you're at what? Because I was doing the ultra stuff when you started watching, mate, and honestly, that when you get to 1,000, you're like, that was really hard to get to, and then it goes from 1,000, and then it's at 10,000, you're like, that was quick, and then it jumped to like 40,000 in no time, but from like 45,000 to 60, it definitely slowed down. But I don't care. I'm not getting too much into the numbers because no, just enjoy what you're doing, and hopefully that rubs off, and you get to see what you're getting to watch and you enjoy. But as I said, there will be more reactions coming up to the grand final stuff. I think off the top of my head, I think it was 2015 I got asked to do. So I've not watched any of the 2015 ones. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to do 2015. There'll be a few more in the coming weeks. I'll probably have most of the 2000 onwards grand finals, but you know, it's just going to add to the excitement for me and for everybody else watching it to the big finale. I don't know what she's doing. She's messing about with a box. That's a right bad badge of that, isn't it? Sex and mugs and rock and roll. Unbelievable stuff. Hi Lee, how's it going? Having fun? She's having fun. I'm happy. As long as you're having fun, eh? Fantastic mug. Absolutely fucking enormous. Oh, Dave. You go easy, Dave. Oh, Leah. I know you were more talking about merchandise that time. Son, I know what you were requesting. I've not looked into it yet, but I need to get your cup size. I'm not sure of your cup size, but I can get it embroidered for you. Just let me know. I always go easy, man. Lee, didn't realise I was going to do a live stream. That's because I didn't realise I was going to do a live stream. I just had a wee bit of time and I thought, do you know what? I want to have some banter with folk. I appreciate it's like 1:45, probably coming up for 1:45 in the morning in some places, maybe even later where you are. But I just wanted to I was going to do the predictions and record it, but I thought, I wonder if folks, I'll put it on and I'll get a bit of banter as I'm doing my predictions. You missed the predictions. My predictions for Friday and Saturday, obviously. Geelong and West Coast Eagles. On the Friday, West Coast Eagles win. And the Lions versus the Giants, a Lions win. Okay? So you work out from there what's going to happen in the preliminary finals the following week. Of course, your team, Collingwood, the Magpies, they will be in that on Saturday the 21st of September at the MCG. Both games are now at the MCG, so you know, big crowds expected in all of these games now. 90,000 plus, I'd imagine. The noise is going to be spectacular. One thing I wanted to point out, because I always get asked, because I know Geelong's in this, and at home final last week was Giants have finals experience. Well, that's it. I mean, they are two good sides. You could argue the Giants were better throughout the year, but the Lions finished so well in the last 8 or 9 weeks and just drove themselves right, not only into the top 8, but second in the ladder at one point for less than a day. I think they were at first spot. They were top of the ladder. And that's a lot of credit has to be given to them. The belief in that squad now is bound to be flying. Maybe dented their confidence a little with 2 back-to-back defeats off the Tigers, but do you know what? The Tigers are a quality outfit. I see them as the most got to get this right, because the West Coast Eagles are another very good footy side. Collingwood's another really good side. But I believe in my head that Richmond have a game plan, a way of playing that on their day, when they can do it, they're the best in the ladder. That are the best in the competition. The best in the competition, I believe, when they're playing their game and they can impose it early, they're in some ways unstoppable. But stop them playing their way, stop them playing it, get them into an arm wrestle, get them out of their comfort zone, and fucking hammer them on the break. Get them and hammer them. Do you know what I mean? Hit them hard. I mean, they've got some great young players. They've got some great experienced players as well. But I look at that West Coast Eagles team, minus Willie Rioli, of course. But Flying Ryan up there, fucking hell. He is... They two have been magic together of late. You know, when you watch them two together, they just... It's like when you see twins together, they just are in sync with each other. So I don't know what the hell it is. But Flying Ryan, oh, he's different gravy. He's a player I really, really love. He can take marks from out of the fucking heavens. One of the best ones there at the weekend, I think attempted ones, was at Charlie Cameron for the Lions. I don't know if it came off, but he got so high, got the knees up, pushed off like a springboard nearly in the diving, and he's went back the way. But like, you know, some of the ways they're putting their bodies in danger trying to get that ball and pluck it out of the heavens, it's absolutely sensational. It's not an easy skill. These guys make it look easy. They're pushing their knees off people's shoulder and then throwing themselves off them up even further. Their hands, I'm guessing their hands, when they go to catch the ball, are sitting are probably about 11 or 12 foot by the time they get higher than jumping and slam dunking into a basketball net. It's incredible trajectory and spring they're getting off the ground. And for somebody the height of Flying Ryan, the way he does it, the speed that he moves at, the timing of the jump, the it's just a joy to watch when you see the wee guy getting up there and doing it. And his kicking's great as well. Really good wee player. I think he does get a lot of credit, but he doesn't get enough credit at times. I think he really does fly, because you've got Kennedy, you've got Darlin, you've got so many players at that club that on the day can take the spoils and take all the credit. But do you know what? Geelong, fucking go out there and try your best. I don't know. I can't see it happening. I think the West Coast Eagles are just too strong. The Lions, as you say, though, the Lions and the Giants. The Giants have got the experience the Lions probably don't have. But the Lions are a strong unit as well. Yeah, mate. So there I'm not too sure, Ewan, if you've watched much of the stuff. It is on BT Sport in the UK. The grand final's on the 28th. Who did you say for your tips again, Lee? I've put West Coast Eagles and the Lions, so you work out what way that goes. I believe that leaves it with a West Coast Eagles. I've not got the next week, whatever way, because it goes like that, doesn't it? To the game, so one goes down, one goes up. I think it's Richmond, West Coast Eagles, and it will be Collingwood Lions if that happens. Somebody will have to help me out here. It would be West Coast versus Richmond and Collingwood versus Lions. So, do you want my full predictions? That spoils next Thursday. I know who I think will win. I know who I think is going to get to the final based on that happening. If that happens, I've done my AFL predictor and I've got my winner. But I'm not going to give too much away because next Thursday, of course, will be the prediction. And then you'll have your preliminary finals and you'll see your final. You'll see your teams. I've got it in my head. You've got it in your head who you think is going to come or get into the preliminary finals next week. You've probably got your own picks. Maybe you don't agree with it. Fair enough. But we'll see. So they're playing West Coast Eagles. I can't see them playing Geelong. Geelong have been poor of late. Something would have to go seriously wrong. I mean, they would probably have to catch all the West Coast Eagle team giving false urine samples or some shit for Geelong to win this one. I don't know what they've been putting in that test tube. I don't know what the hell they're putting in there, but it sure as hell isn't human pee. Silly man. Nick Nat being back in is absolutely huge. He was a giant last week. Absolutely outstanding. He's a leader without having to be vocal. It's exactly what I'm talking about. Like people like Mitch Robinson, they just put their body on the line. They're involved in all things great. Nick Nat. Everybody knows my feelings on him if they've been following the Don's channel. Absolutely love the guy. I think they should all be doping, Lee. Do you know what I mean? This is the way I see it. I think they should all be doping. I think they should all be taking steroids. I think they should be injecting as much of it into their bodies as humanly possible. And the team that loses is the team that doesn't dope enough. That's your fault. Dope more. Nobody can complain. Oh, but you cheated. It's your own fault. We got the good shit. No, it's not legal, mate. It's definitely not legal. Somebody's been caught not giving a urine sample. Basically, he's been caught possibly. Steroids are definitely not legal. I'm just joking. They should be. So nobody's got an advantage over everyone, and nobody can cry about it. Basically, you cheated. No, we never. We just took better gear than you did. Our gear is better than your gear. And that's it. Nobody's crying, everybody's happy. Happy as fuck. Massive, huge biceps, bulging out of their fucking Guernseys. They look immaculate. They look like Zeus. Everyone looks good. They feel good. They play well. They're faster, fitter, stronger. That's great. Even the ladies are happy. The ladies are sitting in the stands going, oh, doesn't he look good in that Guernsey? And they're all happy. Because they're all pumped on their eyes. It's lovely. So obviously I'm joking, but at WWE, the serious sport of wrestling, the WWE, one of the most extreme sports on the planet, highly competitive. The sports stars, they're athletes, these guys. They take steroids in abundance, and it doesn't do them any harm. They look amazing, and they feel amazing, and they get the job done, and it's in the entertainment industry as well. So obviously, could you imagine putting yourself in that ring against these guys? Some of the hits these guys in the WWE have to endure is absolutely frightening. I wouldn't want to be in there when I take some of those hits with those steel chairs. They hit each other with steel chairs, for fuck's sake. They are psychopaths. Do you know what I mean? They're smashing each other with ladders and everything in WWE. It's really frightening stuff. I've never once thought when I was painting inside the house, wait a second, my wife's pissing me off. I know what I'll do. I'll pick up the ladder and smash her across the back with it. It's attempted murder, mate. It's attempted murder. And these guys are doing it for fun, for the sheer entertainment of others. So credit to these guys. And you just wonder, could they do it without taking the best anabolic steroids that you can get? Probably not. So maybe AFL should be looking at to introduce it. I'm not too sure. I think it's certainly something that I'll put to the AFL in writing, possibly before the grand final. Have you ever thought about legalising the use of anabolic steroids and having a no cap on it? Like, you can take as much as physically possible. I don't know how many milligrams or whatever you can pump into your body, but as much as humanly possible. So everybody's got a level playing field and nobody can get done. Plus, you won't have that added awkward expense of paying a drug testing team to come in because it doesn't actually matter. So that's irrelevant. That cuts some costs elsewhere as well. So you could pump that money from them into trying to improve your failed experiment of the Gold Coast Suns, maybe buy a few fans from Melbourne and rehome them in the Gold Coast and give them free tickets and pay them to go and watch the Gold Coast Suns. That money could be used that you didn't use for the testing team on buying some Gold Coast Suns fans, and maybe that might help make them improve as a footy side. I don't know, it's just a suggestion. I think it's a damn good one. Certainly something they should look into. Don't know, what's your thoughts on that? But anyway, I was going to do a video yesterday, but I was out the back headbutting beech trees and smashing them into bits, karate chopping them. I'm not too sure, mate. There's a lot of uncertainty surrounding that. Where's the bloody coffee? Yeah, maybe the AFL should actually go, do you know what, mate? You're actually expanding our audience outside of Australia and other places. Do you know the money that we could save on letting people take steroids and not having to pay that team? Do you know what I mean? To come in and test everyone weekly or whatever they do. We could fly you out and actually get to do your videos out there and show people in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Europe, maybe elsewhere, if wherever they want to send me, I'll go. And I think that'll probably be cheaper than getting a team of drug testers across every AFL ground every week. That's a gross misuse of money, I believe, in my heart of hearts. Mate, you know what? 50%, lad. I'm happy enough. You can come with me. Do you know what I mean? You can come with me. Certainly something they should be looking into. It's a damn great model in the WWE. That's all I'm saying. These are elite superstars in the WWE. They have been for years. So I mean, Dylan, what did you just say, mate? Me and Dylan were talking to each other yesterday, and I was out the back. There's this big fuck ass beech tree. It's like kind of on the bank in my back garden. And, you know, most people use petrol chainsaws and stuff, or get the hired help in, get the experts in, the tree cutters. I just milk it one, the Glasgow kiss, smash the big fuck off branches off it, and chop it into firewood for the fire with the bare hand. Just, you know, the old classic outside of the hand. Chop it into blocks, just big enough to go into the fire. And it keeps me in a warm house over winter here, which can sometimes have negative temperatures of minus 21. So, you know, cutting that beech tree down. He says I was sitting on my arse. Dylan, mate, fuck off, mate. Your da sells Avon. Dylan, your da sells Avon, mate. You've got hands like an Avon ladle. Fucking brilliant, mate. I can't. Quality, lad. Absolutely brilliant. I'm not gonna. Good one, mate. Good one, boss. Like it. Oh, that's magic. I've got no comeback. But there's a huge saying in Scotland. Your da sells Avon. They've turned it into dance tunes. Basically, there was something happened a couple of seasons back. I think it was actually Rangers supporters put on social media, they made up a name of some African guy going to Aberdeen or saying, your dad's sells Avon, like two name or something like that there. And Sky Sports put it out and read it up. Aberdeen are linked with a player from such and such a place called Your Dad Sells Avon. Your dad sells Avon. Your dad sells Avon, because nobody's dad sells Avon. And if they do, I pity that child. He really shouldn't be doing it. It's embarrassing. Think of your children going to school. What does your dad do for a living? His dad's a firefighter, tackling the biggest blaze in Melbourne City. Peak times, city's busting 3 o'clock in the day. All the shoppers on a Saturday, huge fire going. My dad was tackling the blaze there during the day in Melbourne at 3 p.m. on the Saturday. My dad was gunning down terrorists, you know, freaking policeman or whatever. You know what I mean? My dad sells Avon. Do you know what I mean? But you got me there, Dylan, mate. I've got hands like an Avon lady. Fucking screamer, mate. Well done. But that's a thing it's a joke thing in Scotland. Your dad sells Avon. So there you go. Do you know what? I don't condone bullying on any child. It's something I absolutely fucking hate. But actually, do you know what I mean? A parent can't go crying up to the school, oh, my son's getting picked on. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mr. Thompson. What seems to be the problem? Well, I sell Avon. No wonder he's getting fucking bullied. You sell fucking Avon. How could you do this to him? I would be getting the social in and saying, fuck honestly, we've got a serious case here. Oh shit, what is it? What's happened? Well, we've got this kid, he's getting really badly bullied at the school. Oh, that's terrible. It's down to his parents. Oh no, what are they, drug addicts or something? No, it's his father. Oh, what's he doing? He's doing something to them. No, he sells Avon. Oh, it's worse than I fucking thought. You know what I mean? Dave, have you got something to tell me? Selling Avon isn't a problem, it's the talcum powder that stinks. Mate, selling Avon is the problem. And yes, I'm getting tired of grandmother sending me Avon gifts. Do you know what, mate? If you go out to get some extra funds for the house on a Thursday night and collect the wee envelope for your Avon money, that's alright. I'm not going to judge you. I fucking am. I am judging, mate. What the fuck? Delete yourself from my channel immediately, mate. Dave sells Avon. Dave sells Avon. Dave, mate, you've walked right into this, brother. I've got accused of having hands like an Avon lady, but I'd rather that than going out on a Thursday every fortnight and collecting my earnings, you know, envelope sellotape to somebody's door because they're that embarrassed that they buy from Avon. And up comes Dave. Dave coming up to peel the envelope gently off the freshly painted door with his $5 note that he's craving because he sold some grandmother a stinking talcum powder. Dave, you need help, mate. You're a sick individual. I'm fucking wetting myself, yeah. Dylan, this is fucking brilliant. Dave, I can't speak. These comments are magic, by the way. I'm fucking crying. Dylan, you've sent me fucking... Dylan's got a parcel coming to me that's been held up in Dublin. And I know why the customs has held it up. Because some fucking scumbag has just went and sent some fucking Avon hand cream. Is it a bomb? Is it drugs? No, it's Avon hand cream. There's no fucking getting in. Dylan, mate, what the fuck have you done? Delete yourself. Magic stuff. This has to be the funniest fucking live stream I've ever done. I'm so glad I did a live stream. This is what you don't get with pre-recorded shit. This is, where would you rather be on a 2 o'clock at night in Australia? Hello from Indonesia. I don't know if you'll get these jokes, but I hope your dad doesn't sell Avon. Oh, yes, fucking beautiful stuff. Dylan, we've got our problems in Northern Ireland, mate, where, you know, organisations over here and things they've done over the years. But what you've just done, fuck, mate. Oh, mate. The Avon hand cream. I'm no one that. I'll be turning the courier guy around. Get the fuck. He told me it was footy stuff from the AFL, and now he's just admitted this shit to me. If any Avon representative is watching this live stream, I am not sorry whatsoever. No apology whatsoever. I want that in writing. Oh, I'm going to get inundated with freaking Avon now. That's what's going to happen. People are going to be sending me postcards with Avon shit through the door. I heard you want to become a sales rep for Avon. Fuck yous. Oh, very much. Johnson & Johnson & Johnson are now being sued for their talcum powder. Oh, mate. Dave the Avon Man. He's changed his name to Dave the Avon Man. This is freaking... Dave from Western Australia sells Avon. Hashtag Dave sells Avon. I want that trending on social media. Dave sells Avon. Dave with the quokka in his profile picture sells Avon. No, Dave, it's not another Dave. There's always another Dave, but it's you, Dave. You, Dave. Boss baby, come here, I've got something to say to you. That was cracking banter, Ian, lad. He's got you. Dave, the Avon man. Say this. Are you ready? Can you say this? Dave. Sells. Avon. Dave sells Avon. Say it. Dave sells Avon. 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 Dave sells Avon. Boss Baby's called it, mate. It's actually official. It's rubber stamp certified Avon seller. You need your hands raised. Dave, you've owned so many people on my live streams, mate. This is always going to come back to you. Always. You got Lee with the Don's Channel merchandise bra. You know, mate. You've created a monster here, mate. I don't believe in karma. I'm not saying you've been on, but I don't know. It's Thursday, mate. You're late for your fucking collections. Watch you don't peel people's paint off their freshly painted door, mate. They'll be suing you next. I've got all these messages coming. Your Avon delivery is due between 12 and 1 p.m. Will you be home? Everybody's going to be looking at my address. But, you know what, Dave, you're the Avon seller, but I'm going to be the one getting the Avon gifts now. Does Avon actually do anything good? I've never seen an Avon magazine in my life, I don't think. There used to be magazines years ago that come round the post when I was young, but do they even sell? I don't even know what Avon is. It's a magazine or an online thing or what? Somebody sells it. It's magic. Know what it was though? Do you know why I've got hands like an Avon lady? Do you know that cream that you keep sending me? I've actually been using it. It's so nice. Your hands look youthful and fresh and, you know, nourished. It does work. I have Avon brochures once a month. I've never had one through my door in my life. Don't even know who that is. Your hands do look like George Costanza's though. I don't know who that is. George Costanza. It sounds funny. I'm laughing anyway. I have got pretty girly hands though, I must admit. And I don't know why, because I've worked manually my whole life. My hands are pretty camp. They leave them in your letterbox. I'm fucking taping my letterbox up with duct tape as soon as I'm off this thing. Oh, he's come from Senfield. He's became a hand model. It's obviously a comedy thing. Maybe AFL, if you're watching, if you've got any people want to model a Sharon that you want with beautiful, delicate hands, I've been using Avon hand cream. AFL, get in touch, and I'll model the Sharon, holding it so delicately. You know, I'm your guy. Dave, fix me up, mate. You're the guy to see about the Avon hand cream. You get in touch with the AFL. As I'm the one applying it. And Dylan as well. Dylan's been using the talcum powder. He's a fucking weirdo. Say, Dylan uses Avon. Dylan? Dylan buys from Avon. Doesn't he? Say yeah.
Say yeah.
He shops at Avon.
What's that?
But anyway, great stream. I'm going to have to start making the tea for everyone soon. Do you know what? Maybe, is that what the A stands for in AFL? Avon Football League? Could be a huge sponsorship. Anyone who uses Avon products smells like they're a grandmother's gift. Smells like their grandmother. Smells their own grandmother's knickers. I've got a question for the children. Do you feel if someone's dad was to sell Avon, is that weird?
What's that?
Yes or no?
That one is better though.
Avon. Just say yes or no. If someone's dad sells Avon, is that very weird? Yes or no? Yeah, it is, isn't it? That's what I thought. So that's the end. Near enough. Yeah, they did say that to me when I was young. You're one of the, you're hyper, like, I do have one of those things. I think see, everything's diagnosed these days and is given a title. Everything in life's given a title. It's called ADHD now. I don't remember it having a title when I was young, but I certainly feel like I've got it. Well, I used to climb the walls, upset and stuff like that there when I was young, and headbutt them and stuff. You know, possibly. It's called being raised in Glasgow, mate. I think you're right. I was in the East End when I was young, and it was perfectly normal. Nobody was out of place. You know? So it's all good banter anyway. Had great fun that with that. Really good. Thanks very much, Dave. I'm glad you're a good sport. I was a good sport as well. Come on. I get classed as having Avon lady hands. Dylan, zero respect for you, mate. If you have sent me Avon hand cream, I know you haven't, but if you do send me Avon hand cream, that's good banter. But if you actually have sent me Avon hand cream, that's fucking awkward, mate. That is awkward. You'll probably find that you'll be blocked from social media, blocked from the channel immediately.
Do you think I have my hair?
And there'll be probably people with a warrant coming to your door at any time soon.
Do you think
expect the door to get knocked soon with a warrant to search your premises if you've sent me Avon hand cream, lad.
Do you think I have my hair done?
Dunno. Show your top. Northern Ireland, green and white army. Alright everyone, thanks very much. That was great banter. Really, really enjoyed it. Good stuff. To everyone who stayed up late, you know I appreciate it. Good banter. This, of course, was about footy. I've been slightly sidetracked. A little bit sidetracked. Slightly from the footy. Not much, though. You're putting me off. I've lost my train of thought. I'm trying to think. What was I talking about? Yes, enjoy the footy this weekend. Hopefully my predictions win. I don't give a damn about it. Who wins? I want my predictions to win because there is bets put on for it for the channel and donations will go to the channel. Courtesy of my main man Dylan. Very, very good friend of the channel and mine. So as I say, greatly appreciate, never taken for granted. And for everybody who has been supporting me from day one, you know I appreciate that as well. And you and my man from Scotland, you don't know much about AFL, but I appreciate your support as always. Great friend to the channel, really appreciate it. If anybody's watching this now or afterwards, do check us out on social media. I'll always get back to you when I can. And merchandise, etc. Social media, boom, get talking to me if you want baseball caps and stuff like that. And I'll get back to you on that as well. Thanks very much. Please share any videos you like with your friends because that does help the channel grow. What's that? Is that the notifications bell? Ding, 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 ding. Press the notifications bell. And if it's Dave looking his Avon money, go away, Dave. No cold callers at our door. We don't want to buy your Avon stuff, Dave. Go away. Good night, Dave, mate. Good night, Lee. And Dylan, etc. All my friends on the channel. Love it. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.